Welcome back, dudes and dudettes, to the channel. My name is FOXSOL, and today we're going to talk about some awesome takeaways from the recent AMA with the developers of the First Berserker. Now, if you want to check out all this information that you see on the screen right here, and you want to see it for yourself in full details, I will be providing the link to the Reddit page that the AMA was at, as well as let you know that all this information that we're going to be discussing is on the official Discord server for the First Berserker. I will provide a invite link as well to that, so that way you can join it and go read it for yourself. But for right now, I figured it would be some good content to go ahead and read and take a look at and go through it together. So without further ado, let's dive right on in. All right, so let's start off with the questions about the dev team. Their first section here under philosophy and vision, the dev team is focused on designing combat around a challenge and achievement system, as well as the joy of battle, emphasizing the satisfaction players feel when they overcome difficulties. I can tell you that from playing the demo, from the very first moment I play it till now, that this emphasizing of a challenge and achievement and the joy of battle is something that is very pertinent, that is in this game, that for the demo, if as polished as it is and what I'm expecting for the full-fledged part of this game, if you have played action RPGs or soul-like games, let me put it this way to you. If you're a fan of it, you know, of a challenge, this game does present it. I think that the devs are doing very well in designing this challenge and achievement system. Moving on from here with the inspiration and influences, while Dungeon and Fighter was primarily the inspiration, elements from other titles such as Nioh, Sekiro, Ghost of Tsushima, Dark Souls, and Diablo have also influenced the design of the First Berserker. And I will say this, yes, I can see Sekiro, I can see Nioh, I can see Dark Souls in particular as three games that I've primarily played that is really, you know, inspired into the gameplay of this game, to which, holy moly, it is a great blend. I think that, again, when it comes to Khazan, when it comes to this entire, you know, influence that's being presented, they have hit it out the park. There's some soul-like games I have played, like Lords of the Fallen and such, that I don't think completely get it. But what the devs have done with this game has, I don't know, like, they really studied, they really took influence, and again, they just hit it right out the park. When we get into story structure, players are familiar with Dungeon and Fires will enjoy the nostalgic element and fresh depth, while new players can enjoy the game without prior knowledge of the original lore. Now, I will say this. I am not a person who really got into the lore of Dungeon and Fires. I knew about Dungeon Fighter Online. I played DNF Duel, but I never really got into the lore. And for someone who is not too fancy about it, I am coming into this, and I went to a little bit of research on the lore, and I stopped because I want to know from this game's perspective just how they want to put this together, so that way, you know, I'm not spoiled, and then go back and read the original lore to see how one for one it works out well. But so far, I have to admit, the little bit of story that we've gotten with the demo, I'm pretty good with it. The technical challenges that the dev team has also faced to bring the appeal of Dungeon Fighters to a wider audience. The team expanded its platform focus and transitioned into a single-player action RPG, concentrating on adapting a new genre and platform, which I think, you know, what they have done, again, knocked it out the park. I think it's very well done. I am hoping, from the little bit of research I've done with the lore, that this will really, you know, transition and really work well with the single play, with this, you know, idea with the new genre. But so far, I think, you know what, there's nothing to fear here. I think the devs are doing a great job. Moving on to gameplay and systems, there will be a new game plus feature, all content accessible during the first playthrough, but multiple endings and new game plus allowed for higher difficulty. unlocking additional options and abilities. This is amazing. Again, when you've played, Dark Soul games, Soul-like experiences, typically with New Game Plus, you get a higher difficulty, but there's really not much more that goes to it. Some of them have multiple endings. Some of them, the multiple endings, like Lords of the Fallen, is just pick your color pretty much. I like the idea that it's also apparently going to unlock additional options and abilities. That actually sounds really cool. Weapon types. The full release will feature the 3 weapon types: dual wield, great sword, and spear, and the same in the demo, which is the same in the demo. Additionally, additional weapon types through DLC or other options are still being considered. I'm going to say it like this. I really do hope that they add more weapons. I feel like, that there should be more than 3 weapons, especially if you look at the Blade Phantom himself, which each one of them in the trailer, I guess you want to say, well, not the trailer, but like the beginning intro where they're coming down, they each have their own distinctive weapon, like the hammer and everything. I would love to see DLC for more weapons, or, DLC like additional story plots added to it, which would give us those weapons. All right, coming into playtime, while the exact average is hard to provide, the estimated playtime for the true ending is around 80 hours, and the demo represents roughly 5% of the total content. This right here, I'm not gonna lie, this really gets me excited to know that, they're estimating it's gonna be around 80 hours. Just to get to the true ending. I don't think the game is going to be 80 hours for like your first playthrough or so. I'm going to estimate it's going to be around probably like maybe 20-30 hours in general, but just knowing that they're estimating that, seems like they have a lot that's going to be coming down the pipeline, and that's actually pretty awesome. Mission replay. Missions can be replayed and enemy or boss levels remain fixed without scaling to the player's level. This right here, I understand the point of view for this. I kind of don't like this in a sense. This is taken away from kind of like Neo, where I'm pretty sure you'll be able to, once you complete like chapter 1, chapter 2, you'll be able to go back to chapter 1, go replay it again. And, the enemies are going to be at a fixed level. They're not going to scale. And that's kind of a little sad. I'm not going to lie. I would like to see, personally, that scaling happen. But, hey, I trust the devs. When we get into the technical details, optimization, some optimization issues were found on the PS5 and Xbox, and improvements are underway. A few of these updates will also be applied to the demo version, which I could tell you right now, with the PC version, which is the one we're playing right now, there has been some optimization issues, which the devs have been updating it. They have been fixing different things, especially with like DX12 and everything, and it's been working really well. I think it's been working perfectly fine. My 3070 right now is running it pretty much at the highest graphical settings and not faltering at all. I got to give them credit. And knowing that they're putting attention to detail with both the demo as well as the main game and just optimization, this truly gives me hope that these devs are really, truly putting in a lot more effort than, a lot of people would imagine. HDR support. While there are no current plans for HDR support, the team is committed to ensuring the game's unique graphics are well presented across all platforms. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure about you guys, but when it comes to me with HDR, I don't use HDR in really any games at all, and I don't find that when I have used HDR that it really did much of anything. It's just kind of more of a different like contrast and coloration, but I don't really care for HDR, so I'm not worried about HDR support. Content and DLC. DLC plans. The plan and schedule for DLC content has yet to be decided, but multiple game modes are still under consideration. Give them time to cook. I'm sure there's going to be some DLC plans once the game's released. Multiplayer. Co-op will not be supported. That is completely 100% understandable. We're telling a story of Khazan. Okay, we're telling an original lore story. We're playing this character. We're not like doing a customization or anything. I am perfectly fine with that. I mean, there's some people I know that does not like the fact that the game does not have multiplayer, quote unquote, co-op or PvP. But let's be completely honest. You had Lies of P that did not have co-op. It did not have, you know, any kind of PvP. And it was a straight up stellar game. It was basically a game of the year. So I'm perfectly fine with that. Additional questions and answers. Transmog. Gear appearance customization will be unlocked after completing the playthrough. So I'm guessing from listening to that, you know, if there's like a certain weapon design or a certain armor skin that you like, that, you know, maybe like a lot weaker, if you would collect it compared to your higher stat, we'll be able to, you know, change the appearance to make it look like that. And that's something that was taken from Neo. Completely love that. Bosses. While there are no hidden bosses, a variety of bosses are included. Some will feature multiple phases, offering unique challenges in each mission. Completely fine with that also. I think that, you know what, this is going to be more of a linear scale game. This could be kind of like your normal like Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Lies of P, Lords of the Fallen. It ain't going to be an open world style game. And I'm perfectly fine with no hidden bosses. I think, you know, from the very first experience of the demo, I think that they're doing very well. If you want to know more of this information, like I stated before, we will be posting the full AMA link down below, as well as an invite link to the official Discord server for the First Berserker. And hopefully you guys will, you know, check it out and take a look at it for yourself. But before I let you guys go, and from all this information that we see on the screen, tell me, what do you feel? Have you played the demo for the First Berserker? Have you seen, you know, gameplay footage? Let me know what your thought pattern is on this. What do you take from this? What do you like? What do you not like? What's some things that you would like to change after experiencing the demo for the main game? I would love to hear all that. And like always, guys, you know, if you like more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that bell notification, like the video, share the video, all that good jazz, you know what I'm saying? And be sure, if you do subscribe, hey, we are going to be playing this demo every single day, all the way to release. So come join us in our live streams here on YouTube, all that good stuff. And like always, keep it classy, keep it jazzy, always keep it real. And I will catch you on the flip side. Peace.